A very good morning to all of you. Today we would be talking about CSAT paper 2. Last 1 week to go. So what are the key things that you must remember? Now the first thing that we would start with is whether you are from a science background or a commerce background or an arts background. Simple terms, the idea is good at maths or not. So if you are not good at maths and you are struggling with the basics of maths, these are the important 6 lectures that you must cover, right? This is specifically targeted for students with non-maths background. So students who do not have maths background or are non-maths students are or must have a good understanding with the basics of multiplication, division. Now division, last year the question that was asked in 2022 for the division was relatively direct question, but the logic requires a detailed understanding of the concepts of division. So consider the 7th video, which is based on the divisibility test, very carefully, and this would give you a deeper insight into what to study and how to study, right? Another important thing that you must take into account while you are preparing, those who have been good at maths now definitely don't need a much information or a background on mathematics, but what is important for you is another important topic, and that is the concepts related to data sufficiency. So another important kind of questions which are nowadays asked are data sufficiency problems. So these two videos give you a detailed insight on the questions related to data sufficiency. Cover these questions carefully, and this would give you at least an edge on 2 to 3 questions. So 2 to 3 questions minimum expect on data sufficiency. If you are confident about the first statement of data sufficiency, check the second statement. Now first thing that you would have to do in a data sufficiency question, understand whether the first statement is correct, second statement is correct or not. Let's say first is correct, second is incorrect, then it's all done. If you feel both are correct, then hide one of the statements and see just by one of the statements can you solve the problem or not. That's really important. Then see with second statement can you solve the problem. So hide first statement and go with second statement and see if you can solve and get the answer. If you require both the statements to solve, that's one case, or you require one of the statements to solve the problem, that's the second case. So those are the kind of questions that you must be familiar with while you are solving the problems on data sufficiency. The next most awaited section that all of you actually intend to proceed with and are really worried about is reading comprehension. So what we would discuss in reading comprehension today is really crucial. Now understand, when you are appearing for UPSC exam, what is the idea? Why they have introduced reading comprehension? The basic reason is very simple. The idea is, as an officer, you would be required to take the minutes of the conference or the proceedings, right? So when you are writing down the minutes or taking down the proceedings, you must be able to have the gist or the basic understanding of what has happened throughout the day. Now when this is required, we require a proper means of understanding. So when you have a question on assumption, if we go through the official answer keys that have been released by UPSC and check our papers last year, we have already shared that video today itself in the community. So just go to YouTube community and click the very first video that we have shared, and that is how we solve the assumption problems based on the official key guidelines. So the very basic analysis that we have found here, going through the previous year's papers, is that when there is a question on what is the basic assumption, they are trying to understand the underlying cause or the underlying basis. That means trying to understand the gist or the summary of the passage. in the question on assumption. Usually other sections, when you have questions on assumptions, that is not being asked because something what is hidden you have to reveal that. But with UPSC, classically, when there is a question on assumption, this is what is actually expected from students, that you are able to summarize, you are able to get the gist and the summary of it. Another important kind of questions which is asked from reading comprehension is the main idea. The main idea of the passages. This passage conveys the following thought. Now these kind of statements again intend to bring what? They intend to bring a summary or a gist of the basic concepts that have been asked. Clear? So those are the kind of topics that you must cover under comprehension. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can put those in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to take those forward. Okay. Coming on again, some of the questions which are commonly asked. Blood relation, expect one question. Direction problems, expect 1 to 2 questions. Again, logical problems. Here, I would also say analytical problems are really important. Lot of questions being asked from this section. What are the important topics from the section on mathematics? So one question either on direction or on blood relation. The questions on blood relations over the last few years we have seen are a little tricky. So the more you practice, better it is. Attribute problems, direct attribute problems are not asked. You have a little twist in the attribute problem, or there are two different attributes that have to be correlated. So make sure you are going for those attribute problems as well. Then the spatial or picture based questions, those are relatively simple. If you have practiced even few, you should be able to solve those questions. Clear? Coming on next, what is important is understanding what are the important topics for maths. Topic number 1, divisibility. As I mentioned in the beginning, very important topic. It looks very simple, the rules are really simple, but the kind of questions that are asked are sometimes of the Olympiad level as well. So last year there was one question, a similar kind of question was even asked for your maths Olympiad. So definitely the intent of understanding the divisibility problem is really in depth. Clear? So when we say basic maths till 10th, the concepts remain for the basic maths. You are not, it's not like that you are using a very difficult concept. But yes, when you have the same concept, you are not using difficult concept, the application is more in depth. The next is questions related to profit loss, simple interest, compound interest in certain cases. Few questions can be on ratio proportion. These are really scoring questions, relatively simple. Then problems related to mixture, speed time problems. So speed time problems could either include a question related to train, boat, upstream, downstream. Then there can be questions related to arithmetic progression, geometric progression. Really important. So what would happen on the 15th birthday? Those kind of questions. Another extremely important topic asked every time, permutation, combination, probability. Expect again 3 to 4 questions from this section. Really scoring. If you have the basic understanding, you can simply solve those questions. Now, what is really interesting for you during the last moment? During the last moment, I would recommend practice. Now, since the practice cannot be done immediately towards the end, this is something that you have been doing throughout the year. What are the important things in the last minute? In the last minute, I would recommend go for reading comprehension, because maths, if you are good at and if you can do, you can do. There is nothing that you would be able to do in the last minutes. But reading comprehension, if you read few of the passages, try to solve few of the answers, then this would give you an insight as to how the official answer keys work. And this would also help you develop a kind of intuition to help answer the questions which are related to reading comprehension. Clear? So reading comprehension is something that I would recommend for the last minute. practice few questions for those, and definitely data sufficiency, another important topic. Now another important thing to note is CSAT is a qualifying paper. There are 80 questions which are asked, 2.5 marks for each question. Negative marking is there, so be careful. So if you are able to do 27 questions correct or around 30 questions correct, I take a conservative side, I say 30 questions correct without any incorrect question, then you are qualified for CSAT. So you don't need a lot of energy or dedication if you are good at maths. But yes, one important thing is speed. So during the last few days that you are left, try to do at least 1 to 2 papers of 80 questions for CSAT. If you don't have a paper of 80 questions, you can pick the questions from the past year paper, try to complete that only, and see if you are able to do those 80 questions within this stipulated time. Because solving within the time under pressure is really important. If I give you open-endedly and I say solve it throughout the day, you would be definitely able to do it. But within the time constraint, if you are really able to do it, that would make a real difference with your CSAT qualifying score. And once you are done with your exam, we'll be meeting again with the paper solutions after your examination. So stay tuned. Wish you good luck for your upcoming examination. And do get in touch back if you have any questions or queries. Have a wonderful day ahead.